everyone, welcome back to my Let's Play of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. When we last left off, we started the fourth case. My memory is so bad, but I wanted to show you guys we're here on this on the home screen. It changed again. So for the fourth case, this is where our client currently is. I don't remember his name. Let's go look, actually. All I remember is that he's super dramatic and he kind of scares me. Oh my gosh, why am I yawning? But yeah, so we started, oh yeah, there he is. This case, and it's some lady who was like stabbed on the sidewalk or something. Oh, Soseki Natsume, that's right. Who's from Japan, just like us. Yeah, so I think we're thinking he's innocent, but like his story was that he saw no one on the street where the lady got stabbed, but like there were also no witnesses, and apparently he was found guilty and, or I guess sort of apprehended by the police because of good old Sherlock Holmes and his great deductions. So can't wait to go prove that wrong and see where this takes us. I want to say thank you guys so much for your continued support of the series. Thanks for your patience with my upload schedule. I've been really tired because of work, so I've been kind of bad the past week or so, but we're gonna get back to it this week. And I think, did we already talk to him? We did, okay. Do I need to show him anything? I don't think so. I feel like we're supposed to go back here? Maybe? You think I'd remember? Yeah! He kind of looks like a meerkat. Is that what I'm thinking? I was gonna say, normally when you don't know where you're going, if you go to a location and then on the bottom it does that and it shows like the date and time, you know you're in the right spot. Or if someone shows up. Oh god, what accent did I give him? Oh, what's the Japanese delegation doing here? Oh, Inspector Gregson. Sup? This isn't on the tourist trailers, I'm fairly sure you're well aware. Yes, of course. We're here to investigate. So you've been to the holding cells then? What do you make of the criminal? He's not a criminal as you put it, Inspector. He's a suspect. Innocent until proven guilty, bitch. Well, let's see about that. You Japanese like to stick together, I suppose. Whoa, alright. Well, do what you will. It doesn't bother me. The bloke's in court tomorrow, whatever happens, and the verdict's a foregone conclusion. Oh, the stone-cold air of rejection. Take heart. London at this time of year is full of stone-cold air. That makes it worse somehow. Alright. Oh, are they gonna let me investigate the scene of the crime now? Scotland Yard about the case tomorrow's trial. Scotland Yard. Tell me about Scotland Yard, Inspector. Ever since I read about it in The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I've been fascinated by the place. The Yard is the most sophisticated policing organization you'll find anywhere in the world, ma'am. Oh, and you know, I've always dreamt of wearing a real Bobby's helmet. It does make them look the part, seeing that policeman there with his helmet on. You certainly get the sense that this is a man who will take no nonsense in his duty of protecting the city. Oh yes, doesn't he look wonderful? Is that what I have to wear to get you to like me, Susanoo? Being a London Bobby is hard going, I can tell you. Okay, why is it's southern now? Oh, really? First thing in the morning, you know what he does? Goes around and rouses all the laborers on his beat so they can get off to work. What? He wakes people up? Yep, raps on the windows with a long pole. Did it myself, going back a bit. I had no idea. Riveting. The Bobby works for the people of the town. It's just another one of his duties. After that, he starts tirelessly patrolling the streets all day long. He has an endless supply of fries. He has to cover 20 miles a day. That's the regulation distance. I can't really imagine how far that is, but it sounds like a long way. Oh yeah, the metric system, right? Let me see. 20 miles. That's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama. On foot? That's definitely taking things a step too far. And when it gets dark, of course, he has the important task of lighting... Nope, important job of lighting all the gas street lamps. Ugh. Oh my. And I suppose in between all of those duties, Bobbies are expected to investigate cases as well? And chase after criminals trying to evade the law. I'm not sure you could call it in between exactly. More alongside. But yes, they're expected to handle those jobs as well. We do have men keeling over from time to time, I admit. Oh god. I'd always dreamt of wearing one of those helmets, as I said. But it's with a heavy heart that I shall have to relinquish that dream to you, Mr. Naruhodo. Your heavy heart will be my heavy head if you do. Hard pass. About the case. It happened at around 5 in the evening 2 days ago, just there on that open bit of pavement. The victim, a young woman, was stabbed with a blade from behind. Oh shit. Is it right that the lady is still unconscious now? You mentioned that she's being treated in hospital. I never said she was a lady. Truth is, unless she comes around pretty smartish, we won't be able to find out much about her at all. I suppose that means they haven't been able to take a statement from her, of course. Wait, she's, wait, when he says she's not a lady, does he mean she's not a woman, or she's not like a rich lady? Puts the potatoes in his pocket. Here's a map of the local area I happen to have on me. You can take it if you want. Really? Are you sure? It's the odd policy to give lawyers defending suspects the odd bit of information to go on. Haven't actually accepted the job yet, but still. Wow, unlike Gumshoe, who just, you know, told us information by accident. Thank you, Inspector. We gratefully accept. The local map has been entered into the court record. Street map of the local area showing where the victim was found. Okay. Maybe we can find ourselves a hotel from that. Let's go look at it. Wow. This tells me so much. Okay, Meerschaum Street, Calabash Road, and Briar Road. Okay. So I guess this might be important. Sorry, I was yawning. Oh my god. In terms of points of entry or exit, I guess, for maybe the culprit and or our guy. So there's like this Y here. There's a chance the person could have like run over here, I guess. I mean, it wouldn't be hard, I think, for someone to get out of sight really quick. So something to keep in mind, I guess. Anyway, as far as we know, there was no one else on the scene other than the victim and your fellow countrymen. So who did it, do you think? Not much of a head scratcher, is it? Well, I know Mr. Natsume is also claiming not to have seen anyone else around, but... But just because he didn't see anyone, it doesn't mean we can be sure that nobody else was present. I'm sorry to have to tell you, but we most certainly can be sure. How? Because, ma'am, the precise moment as the stabbing didn't go unnoticed. What? We have 2 very reliable witnesses, no less. Ah! It was a typical foggy London day, and your client obviously didn't see them. Their own witnesses now? But they saw him? What the heck does that mean? Who are these witnesses, Inspector? A fellow and his wife, and the man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London. He's a copper from Scotland Yard. Ah! A policeman? That might change things. And this policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment the woman was attacked? Nothing peculiar about that, ma'am. Part and parcel of being a bobby. Catching them banging the act and all that. Yeah, but, do you think it might be possible for us to ask that policeman a few questions? Be my guest. You can ask him what you like. In court tomorrow. Oh. I've no doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. So that'll give you something to look forward to. That's that then. He's got no intention of letting us meet the man beforehand, it seems. A policeman witnessed the incident. As your judicial assistant, I must warn you that this could make our job very difficult indeed. Yes, as a non-judicial assistant, I could have warned me of that too. Oh yes, one more thing, Inspector.
What?
The person who led you to the suspect. I hear that was Mr. Sherlock Sholmes.
Ah. What are you bringing him up for?
Was it something I said? The color is drained from his cheeks. Ah, just like Lestrade, they don't get along, do they? Tomorrow's trial.
That twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trial tomorrow. Are you going to defend him or not?
Well,
Makes no difference to me, but I will just say this. No London lawyer with his salt would touch that case with a barge pole.
Because the prosecution is being handled by the Reaper of the Bailey, you mean?
There's no way to save the man now. It's a waste of time trying. It is all a bit strange, though.
Sorry?
The Reaper. He hasn't appeared in court for once a good years now.
Yes, we did hear something to that effect.
And the only people he usually bothers with are the real scum. The master criminals. The violent ones.
Master criminals? The violent ones?
That's right. He handpicks his victims. Only deals with those guaranteed to go to the gallows for their sins.
But Mr. Natsume wouldn't hang for what he's accused of, surely.
That's just my point, Sunshine. Yes, the young woman was stabbed, but it didn't kill her. Couldn't even say the intent was there. So this isn't the sort of case I'd be expecting the Reaper to want to sink his teeth into, for want of a better phrase.
Well, it's not exactly a minor infraction, is it?
No, there's got to be more to it. Some reason he's taken an interest.
Really? What sort of reason, Inspector?
You think I could tell what's going on inside the head of that Lord of Darkness? You'll have to ask him yourself at tomorrow's trial.
Are we really gonna have to face the Reaper again? The Lord of Darkness, as he put it? Great! Mr. Sholmes!
Who did you hear that name from?
Oh, well, it was Mr. Natsume who mentioned it. He said that Mr. Sholmes was with the police when they entered his lodgings. I'm sure it was the result of one of Mr. Sholmes' inspirational great deductions.
Fiddle faddle!
Ah!
The man's an amateur, and I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere.
Oh.
I don't know where he gets his information from, but he turns up at the scene of the crime, wanders around spouting incomprehensible rubbish, and before you know it, he claims to have solved the case.
Yes, he's quite astounding, isn't he? He is a great help to Scotland Yard, though, isn't he?
Gibble gabble!
Ah!
Ever seen this before?
Oh yes, that's Ranced Magazine. The wonderful publication in which the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes appears.
Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put it, sees fit to include several of the Yard's detectives in its stories. And the so-called great detective makes a mockery of all of us. If you ask anyone at the Yard, it's a misadventure to be included in any Sherlock Sholmes tale at all.
Well, I suppose there is an element of that.
We work our socks off, every one of us, only to be frumped by the public thanks to that obnoxious detective. The man's as dangerous to us at Scotland Yard as he is to all of our criminals.
That can't really be true, can it, Inspector? Clearly the great detective and the police have a complex relationship. Boop-ba-doop-boo. Well, I don't think we're gonna get any more useful information out of the detective. Aww. Mr. Naruhodo, can I make a suggestion? Oh, yes, what is it? Well, it seems to me that we must speak with him about this. By him, do you mean Mr. Sholmes? Yes, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes, exactly. Look at those shining eyes. You can't wait, can you? Well, Mr. Natsume did blame Mr. Sholmes for all of this, didn't he? Yes, he did. He really did. which makes him an involved party in the case. Are you just going to ignore that? I hope not. I assure you, it's not simply my selfish desire to meet with Mr. Sholmes again. The trouble is, we have no idea the man's address even. It's Baker Street.
Don't throw me. How do you know that?
It's in the stories, of course. 221B Baker Street, the most famous address in the world. Oh, I see. Well, there's nothing to stop us from going, I suppose.
We better try to find our way there before Suzato-san gets any more excited and unpredictable.
Hurrah! I'll summon a carriage.
So, we're to have a reunion already. With the great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Aw, I wish we could have Watson. Oh, a new location has been added, alright. Sholmes is sweet. Can we really visit, do you think? Oh, pinch me, I'm sure I must be dreaming. 221B, nope, yeah, 221B Baker Street, the home and office of the most famous detective in the world. God, I can't talk. Alright, let's go. Can't wait to see him. Oh.
Thank you very much. It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day.
Thanks again. This is it. The residence of Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Sorry, I muted myself for the cutscene and turned it all the way up because it gets so quiet. It's definitely, well, I mean, I'm trying to think. I guess from, like, the TV show and stuff, there's no, like, solid, way it's, like, set in stone to look. But it does look fancier than how it normally looks. Maybe that's just me. I mean, this looks as messy as it normally looks, but the outside looks very fancy. We got Harry Potter glasses up on the right, and a gavel. A weird shoe in the middle on the fireplace. Okay, alright, just taking a look around. 19th of February, 12:53 p.m., Sholmes' suite. So this is where the great detective makes his living. It feels surreal to be here somehow. Oh. Oh god. Is it as described in the stories, Miss Suzato? I can't tell if she's upset or happy. Suzato-san?
Many, many famous cases have been solved here in this very room.
Oh, I suppose it must have been, yes. I've never read the stories, so it's hard to get quite as excited about it as she seems to be.
The detective chases the villain relentlessly as he disappears into the fog down an unlit London street. Oh, the thrill of it, the romanticism. Can't you feel your heart thumping in your chest? Can't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, I suppose I can, yes.
So, if you don't mind, I'll just stand here and soak up the atmosphere for a while longer. Please, don't mind me.
She's obsessed. Well, looks like our detective friend isn't home at present. Excuse me, is anybody home? Oh, do we have a visitor? Who'd that be? Oh, yo! Oh god, what voice did I give her again?
Hello, is it a big new case for Mr. Sholmes?
Hello? Wait. Also, I just noticed in the background on that board there's a math problem. Sorry, I got distracted by it. V is equal to the sum of P times V. V is equal to V star minus the sum? Interesting. Huh. Anyways. Oh, wait, sorry. Aren't you?
Oh, how rude of me. I'll go and make some tea at once.
Bye. I'm sure it's the same girl. Miss Suzato, did you see the girl who was just here?
Oh yes, isn't it truly extraordinary? To think that the King of Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Sholmes to take on his case.
The King of Bavaria?
King Wilhelm Gottzeit Sigismund.
Hold on.
King Wilhelm Gottsreich Sigismund von Ormstein, of course.
Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Forget the adventures of Herlock Sholmes for a moment and look over there.
The tea's brewed, and I have a freshly baked cake as well.
Oh god, your voices are becoming too similar.
Ah, it's you.
I knew it. Susato-san recognizes her too. I did like a British girly voice. Ah, there you are. Oh yeah.
And taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher.
I don't know what voice I gave her.
Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine.
God, these two are gonna drive me nuts. It's the girl who turned up at the end of Mr. McGilded's trial in the defendant's antechamber.
I've never met a lawyer from the Far East before. Poor you, having to get straight to work when you've only just arrived in London.
Oh, yes, it was challenging. I'm gonna give her a voice like a British Clover from 999, what I imagine she would sound like. I guess she's in the later games, isn't she?
Well, try this tea. It's my special blend, you know.
Oh, thank you. Is tea supposed to look that color?
Oh my, what a fragrant yet mellow flavor. Hooray, it's a winner. I tried blending different leaves designed to alleviate fatigue, you see. You must be exhausted after your long voyage here, and you have another ticklish trial tomorrow. Oh, and you're to defend a Japanese man. I do wish you lots and lots of luck. Did Mr. Sholmes tell you about us by any chance? Oh, you know Hurley, do you?
Hurley? Mr. Sholmes to you, surely?
Mr. Sholmes was a fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain, you see. Was he really? Well, I had no idea. I'm afraid Hurley's out on errands again today, even though he's just returned from overseas.
Wait a minute. We met this girl for the first time ever yesterday after the trial, and only briefly at that. How on earth does she know so much about us? Did she deduce all those things, do you think?
And perhaps more to the point, why is she here in Mr. Sholmes' suite? Oh, silly me! I haven't introduced myself, have I?
Yeah, for reals.
I love her design. It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson. I live here together with Hurley.
Ah, Iris, is it? What a lovely name. Oh, God.
What?
Oh, that was British.
What?
What's the matter?
No, wait, this can't be. Did you say that your name is Wilson?
What's the matter with Susato-san? Why is she so flustered all of a sudden? That's the guy who died's daughter, probably, right?
Yes, that's right. And what are your names?
Oh, I'm Ryanosuke Naruhodo, a lawyer from Japan.
Oh, sorry. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba. It's wonderful to meet you.
Lovely. Susie and Runo.
Got it. Susie?
And Runo. There's more to this girl than meets the eye. I have so many questions for her. I don't know where to start.
Yes, and so do I.
Girl, who the hell are you? Iris Wilson, your deductions just now. Iris, sure. It was you that we ran into yesterday, wasn't it? At the Old Bailey.
Yes, that's right. You were ever so helpful. Thank you so much. Oh no, not at all. I'm so sorry we couldn't have been more welcoming.
Though at the time, we did have a rather large gun pointed at us. Oh my god.
Like this?
Ugh.
Thinking back now, you left with Miss Lestrade in tow, didn't you?
Oh yeah, her name is Lestrade. I forgot about that. Wait, so she's named after... Oh god, she's named after the inspector from Scotland Yard he usually works with, but the guy from Scotland Yard is named Gregson. I think his name is normally Greg Lestrade. Oh god, my brain. Oh yes, that awkward witness, Gina Lestrade.
Oh, Ginny. Yes, she's a professional pickpocket.
So we found out.
It was very naughty of her to pinch my invention like that.
Are you referring to that trial-disrupting gun-like contraption?
Exactly. So I followed her, you see, to get it back. Perhaps I should think about fitting a self-destruct mechanism in my inventions.
This girl is dangerous.
Anyway, I brought Ginny back here after that, so she could apologize to my trusty technician.
Sorry, your technician?
Hurley, of course, silly.
Hurley?
Yes, Herlock Sholmes. We live here together.
I had no idea the great detective had such an interesting young daughter.
Daughter? Not likely.
What?
I wouldn't call him Hurley if he was my father, would I? Well, then, what is your relationship with Mr. Sholmes? Well, I expect you found out that lodgings of any kind in London are very expensive. So, the solution is to share the cost with a partner, a roommate.
Your roommates?
And they were roommates. I hope you don't mind me asking, Iris, but how old are you? 10 at last this year.
Well, what of your mother and father?
Oh no, they're not around.
Oh, I see. I wonder what the story is there. Wilson, is she related to the guy who died?
Oh yes, there's something I must ask you. Of course, go ahead, Susie. I'm a very great fan of The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes and... Oh, you have a copy of Rent's magazine? Yes, I read every issue. It's delivered all the way to Japan on a ship. Oh, this is so exciting. My stories are being read on the other side of the world.
My stories?
That's right. Hurley is always solving such amazing cases, you see, and he tells me all about them. They really are quite fascinating. It would be such a shame if I was the only one who ever heard them, don't you think? Goodness. Last night, he was telling me all about a new case he just solved on a steamship traveling from a faraway land. So I was just in the middle of typing up the manuscript for the next issue before you came. So you are the author? Yes, I'll let you in on a secret if you like. I'm going to call this latest adventure The Speckled Band.
The Speckled Band? That's certainly very familiar.
Of course, I always change one or two details in the stories, here and there. This time, I had the idea of making a venomous snake be the cause of all the trouble.
Oh, that was Mr. Sholmes' first thought as well, actually.
Yes, and of course I know that a snake might not be a credible fit for the facts of the case exactly, but... It's a story. Some poetic license is justified to make it more thrilling, I think. Don't you? So, do you mean to say... Are the stories about Mr. Sholmes that are published in Rant's magazine all written by me? Yes, on my wonderful and very modern typewriter. Aha! But all the stories I've ever read are written by a doctor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson.
Susanna-san's getting more and more worked up, oh god.
Yes, that's me. I mean, my name really is Wilson. But what about the doctor of medicine part? That's all true too. I am a doctor of medicine.
No, at 10 years old?
At 10 years old.
Well, that's quite incredible.
But, Dr. Wilson is an English gentleman. Yes. I did alter the setting slightly for the stories to be more compelling. Oh. Well, it sounds a little strange, doesn't it? A great detective with a 10-year-old girl in tow. It doesn't sound good. I suppose it does, yes. Poor Susato-san. She looks like her whole world has just fallen apart. Nah, your deductions just now. About before. Yes, yes? What's on your mind, Bruno? Do tell me. How did you know? That I was a lawyer and we just arrived in London, I mean. Yes. Oh, and that we have a difficult trial tomorrow. How did you know all of that? Oh, that's what you mean. Please, tell us how you did it. Explain every detail. Of course, I'd be delighted. Although, there's really no mystery. Like, Sherlock told me all this. I mean, Herlock, sorry. Herlock. Sholmes, not Sherlock. Now, let's begin. Oh. Iris Wilson is proud to present her logic and reasoning spectacular. Oh, ah! First of all, I knew already that you were a lawyer, Bruno. Duh. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber. Oh god. My headset! Ah! Oh, I got it back. But you also said that we'd only just arrived in London. How did you know that? I observed a passport and travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket. Oh. So, I was reasonably confident that you must have only just arrived in the country. And on top of that... Ah, you accepted a case against that particular prosecutor, telling me you were unaware of London's court affairs. The Reaper of the Bailey? I walked right into that one, didn't I? Then I noticed a red ink stamp on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited the local prison to meet with the suspect, weren't you? Earlier today. Ah. They use those stamps to keep a close eye on comings and goings, you see. I didn't realize. And a red stamp is only used for people visiting foreign inmates. So, that told me that even though you had only yesterday concluded the trial of Magnus McGilded, the two of you had already had cause to visit a foreign inmate at a local prison. However, neither of you was wearing a particularly sad expression on your face. So, I concluded that the prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or a relative. That led me to believe that you must have accepted a new case. I see. But how could you have known that the trial is tomorrow? Well, having barely been home a few hours yesterday, Hurley solved yet another case. It obviously amused him. He told me that he'd caught a Japanese man who was bawling and trembling. A Japanese man? Well, clearly that must have been... Mr. Oh, nope. Mr. Natsume. Excuse me. Now, Runo has that fancy Japanese sword. And I think your outfit is called a kimono, isn't it, Susie? Well, anyway, it was clear to me that you had both come from Japan yourselves. So I put two and two together and decided you must be defending the Japanese man Hurley caught. And there was only one conclusion those facts could lead me to. You both came here to ask Hurley about the case. There's a note on the mantelpiece that says the man's trial will be tomorrow. Hurley is always stabbing his notes with a knife, you know. He is silly. And that's all there was to it, really. Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was one of my great deductions. Aw, she's so freaking cute. Gasp. Well, was it a winner? Were my deductions correct? They were spot on. That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction. For once. You even managed to discern something of Mr. Sholmes' delivery. Oh well, I was just copying Hurley's style for that. This is really very good news. You could tell us all about the case involving the Japanese man. You will, won't you, Iris? Please. Yeah. Alright, but here's gonna... oh my god. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna save and call an episode here. I got some stuff I gotta go do. But hey, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're still enjoying the series. Let me know if you think her voice is terrible. I hope it's alright. I'm trying to do a little excited British girl voice, but it's not that easy. But yeah, anyways, thank you for watching. As always, feel free to leave a like, comment, favorite, or subscribe, whatever you guys are feeling. And until the next time, lights off, dark out.